kids! It's time for Stories from the Heart with Carol and Mark. Hello, friends! It's time for another adventure.
It's the biggest swamp in the world.
Ready, set, go! The rain had just let up at the swamp. A true orchestra of frogs were croaking.
Rivet, rivet, rivet.
We find the little frog Elio stretched out on a leaf floating in the puddle of water.
Ah, how boring.
He exclaimed.
It's been raining too much. I can't stand the monotony of this swamp any longer. A little swim here, a little swim there, but nothing changes. The same old flies and bugs. How I wish I could get out of this swamp.
Nearby, the frog Dimas heard Elio's complaints and warned,
Careful, buddy. A frog that hops from swamp to swamp can end up as a snake's lunch. A frog on the outside doesn't croak. There you go with your warnings, Demas.
and annoyed Elio asked,
What's so wrong about wanting to get a better life? Well, Elio, we're frogs, and we've got an important role in nature. What role? What role? Eating flies? Well, as a frog, what would you rather eat? Don't know. I'd just rather like to get to know the world, maybe travel. You'd better watch what you dream about. You could wind up in trouble.
Elio didn't pay any attention to his friend and said enthusiastically,
I've heard there's a big swamp not far from here. So big the water actually has waves. Can you believe it? Watch out, Elio. Don't do anything you might regret. You're just jealous, Demas. I don't understand how all these other frogs are content to just stay in this stagnant marsh. I know what you want. To be kissed by a princess and turned into a prince. That wouldn't be such a bad idea. I feel like there's a lot of nobility inside of me.
said the little frog very seriously and full of vanity. Dimas laughed heartily and asked,
So you really think you're a prince? Sure, why not? Elio, we need to do the best we can as frogs. And what else can a frog do but croak? We frogs help people balance the ecosystem. Ah, there you go again with this ego talk. I want to travel, to get to know other frogs and girl frogs. Nope, I'll never resign myself to living in this swamp for the rest of my life. So what do you plan to do? I'm getting out of here tomorrow. I'm going to be happy. I can already see myself basking in the sun, close to that swamp with waves, and I've heard that in this swamp with waves the water's salty.
interrupted Dimas.
That must be a lie. It must have come from some jealous frog. Who ever heard of the like? Salt water? What else have I been missing?
Dimas still insisted.
Let's go out and get some dinner, Elio. No way. I refuse to eat those swamp bugs anymore. Starting tomorrow, my menu will be different.
At daybreak, all the frogs croaking stopped. Heading for the woods, Elio hopped away looking for the swamp with waves. After hopping for a long time, Elio felt lost and said to himself,
I'd better get directions.
He approached a weird-looking animal that was hanging upside down from a tree and yelled,
Excuse me, I'm looking for the biggest swamp in the world. Do you happen to know where it is?
After half an hour of lifting her arm to point in one direction, the sloth Lygia Shift said, It's that way. Elio thanked her and cheerfully resumed his search. He hopped and nothing. He was all worn out.
I'm not giving up.
He said to himself. He went on hopping until suddenly his heart seemed like it was going to jump out of his mouth. A truck passed by, vroom, 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 and almost ran him over. Desperate, Elio started hopping as fast as he could.
Woo!
He sighed in relief.
That was a close call. How much farther is it to that big swamp?
Night fell, and Elio missed the puddles of water in the swamp. The heat was unbearable,
Oh, how I long for a little swim.
he muttered. All tuckered out, he fell asleep, hidden inside a hollow trunk of a fallen tree. At dawn, he woke up startled at someone nudging him.
Hey, what are you doing in my house?
Stuttering, Elio answered.
Me? Yes, you, sir, Mr. Frog. What are you doing in my trunk? Sorry,
He responded awkwardly.
I was really tired and wound up sleeping here.
Looking concerned, the newcomer Filarmino, the big old toad, asked.
Well, it looks like you're not from around here, is that right? No, sir, I'm just passing through.
And trying to be polite, Elio introduced himself.
Elio, at your service. Firmino at yours.
Firmino the toad thought for a while and asked,
Where are you headed, Elio? I'm looking for the biggest swamp in the world. The biggest swamp in the world? That's a good one.
Firmino laughed in disbelief.
It's true. There really is such a swamp. Never heard of it. Why don't you come with me, Firmino? It's an illusion, Elio. I'm looking for happiness.
Grumbling, Firmino said,
And you're also going to tell me you believe in the story of the frog who turned into a prince? Sure I do. Why not? There's no such thing, Elio. You could get hurt along the way. Forget about it. Never. I won't give up. You're just like the frogs I left behind in the swamp. They don't have the guts to pursue their dreams. All right, but don't say I didn't warn you. I think I know this place you call the biggest swamp in the world. I'll tell you how to get there.
Early in the morning, Elio left, hopping towards his dream. Hours later, he heard the great symphony of the waters breaking on the rocks. Elio's eyes were shining with excitement. It was noon. In awe, he jumped towards the hot sand. As soon as he touched it, he cried,
Ouch! Oh, what is this hot stuff?
Hopping higher and higher so he wouldn't get burned, he fell into the salty water of the ocean. A wave came and pushed him towards the bottom. He tried to swim, but he couldn't. He swallowed a whole lot of salty water.
I'm gonna die.
He told himself. Another wave came from the opposite direction and tossed Elio back onto the hot sand of the beach. The poor frog felt the scorching sand again, and gathering as much strength as possible, he hopped towards the nearest dirt. Hours later, he woke up startled and saw a girl frog pouring some water on his burns. He tried to move, but was too weak. Lie still, you're going to be okay.
Who are you?
I'm Tina, and you?
I'm Elio.
What were you doing in the ocean? You could have been killed.
No, I didn't want to die. It was just a mistake. I thought the ocean was the biggest swamp in the world.
He sighed. Elio, the ocean isn't a swamp. That was crazy of you.
I think I learned my lesson. I blew it. Firmino was right.
Who's Firmino?
A toad friend of mine.
Oh, try to rest. You need to recover from these burns. Elio slept for a long time and woke up at the touch of a wonderful, refreshing rain falling on him. Feeling recovered, he stood up and hopped around a bit, accompanied by Tina. The two of them played in the rain. It rained and rained and rained. The deserted ground became a swamp. Elio was happy. He joined Tina and they made a family. They had a whole bunch of tadpoles. That place became Elio and Tina's new home. Talking to his baby frogs, Elio taught them.
Croak, croak, croak. We frogs are very important in our swamp. We help people keep nature in balance. God always expects us to do the best wherever we are.
A few years later,
Dad, I don't want to live in this swamp anymore.
Rudy complained.
What do you mean, my boy?
Elio asked his son in disbelief.
I'm tired of eating these tasteless bugs. I want to get out of here. I want to travel the world, to visit other places, and...
His dad interrupted him.
I don't think so. What about the world's dangers?
Tina, who had been watching everything in silence, intervened. Leo,
Her pet name for Elio.
haven't you ever felt the desire to get to know other swamps? Embarrassed, he responded.
Yes, Teeny.
That was his pet name for her. Well, well, well. Rudy just wants to learn from the choices he makes. Don't you think he has that right? Looking all around, Elio, answered.
You're right.
Hopping onto a leaf into the water, Rudy joyfully yelled.
Croak, croak, yippee!
Elio looked at Tina and said awkwardly.
Here we go all over again.
They hugged each other and smiled. There was a big party in the swamp.
Croak, croak.
How did you like Elio's adventures? Fun, right? Did you notice that he felt a lot of emotions as he went on to his adventure? Have you, little friends, ever felt a little bit sad or maybe a little bit angry? Oh, those emotions can be a little bit hard to handle, right? But did you know that God is here to help you? Yeah, did you know that, Mark?
I knew that. I hope everyone knows that.
Oh, wow, cool, right?
Very
I
cool.
sometimes forget when I get angry or when I get
No,
sad.
that's true. That's true.
Right? So, do you think we have a little reminder to share?
Oh,
How
yeah.
can we remind ourselves?
Well, you told me you had a song earlier.
Oh,
You want to try that?
oh, that's right. Shall we try it all together, little friends? Are you ready? Get set and 1, 2, 3, and go. The wheels of the heart go round and round,
Round and round,
round and round,
the wheels of the heart
go round and round.
all day long. If I feel sad, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray.
If I feel angry, that's okay, that's okay. Let us pray. The wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of the heart go round and round, round and round to God. Wow, wasn't that beautiful? I love that song. I think I'm gonna start singing it every day. What does that song make you think of, Mark?
Well, it makes me think of the message of the story. And the message of the story is that all of us, you, me, all of our dear listeners,
Everyone?
everyone, all we need to feel thankful for every day is right in front of us, our family and with our friends. That's the message of this story, isn't it?
Wow, like Leo learned, right? He learned to say thank you, to be grateful to everything, even the swamp.
That's right. That he didn't have to find the biggest swamp in the world.
Yeah, all he needed was right there in front of him.
And when he discovered that, that's when he found true love.
Yeah, and he felt happy too, remember?
Yeah, so that's a beautiful message. And that would be a cool thing for you guys to draw this week.
Yeah, what makes you happy? What are you thankful for? Would you let us know?
Yeah, and you could send that to kardecforkids@gmail.com.
That's kardecforkids@gmail.com. Remember, we spelled it out for you last week, remember?
And that we would be so grateful if we got a message from you.
Yes, because listeners, believe us, you are people who are thankful for every single day. We think of you, we pray for you, we carry you in our hearts, and we love you so, so much. Don't we, Mark?
We absolutely do. So we're looking forward to seeing your drawings.
Yes, please be in touch with us and know that you are part of our family from the heart. So until next time, when we meet again for another Stories from the Heart with Carol and Mark.
See you next week.
See you next time. Bye-bye.